Hey guys, this is Rob. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and today is exactly 2 weeks until the end of 2023. And with the end of the year closing in on us, we all naturally start to look ahead into the future and into 2024, and in the world of gaming and Nintendo, and for myself, as you guys all know, the world of Metroid, it becomes very exciting to think that 2024 more than likely will officially be the return of Metroid Prime 4. Really quickly, I do just want to say a quick thank you and a welcome to all of the new subscribers, because over the course of the past week, I would say, I've actually had a lot of new subscribers jump on board and join the channel, which is really fantastic, and I thank you guys for doing so. I'm also trying to right now push to cross 25,000 subscribers over the course of probably the next few months. So, of course, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, or if you've been watching and never been subscribed, then I do hope you choose to subscribe after watching this video. So, back to the topic at hand, which is Metroid Prime 4 and the Metroid franchise in the year of 2024, looking ahead 2 weeks into the future. I'm really just trying to explore the general state of that game and what we may or may not see happen in 2024, and what it could mean for the game if something totally crazy happens and we don't actually hear from the game next year. What would that mean for the game? I kind of want to explore all of these different things. But the first thing I'll say, erring on the side of positivity, because this is just truly how I feel, and I think it's important to drive this point home. I've been saying this for years, and I'm going to double down on it, even though the game is still a mystery. I absolutely believe in my heart that we will be seeing and hearing from Metroid Prime 4 in 2024. It is impossible for me to envision a scenario where Nintendo does not address the game, if not show us a trailer, if not, on top of that, even release the game in 2024. Yes, I absolutely believe 2024 is most likely the year we will officially play the game. Now, I know that that's a tall order for some of you to believe, and I do understand that because we have been through a hell of a freaking emotional journey when it comes to Metroid Prime 4. If you think about it, June 2024 will actually be the 7-year anniversary of the reveal of Metroid Prime 4, even being a game that Nintendo is making. And just next month, 1 month from now, will be the 5-year anniversary from the announcement that they rebooted and restarted the game and gave it back to Retro Studios. So here's the thing, man. When we consider whether or not we're going to see this game in 2024, we can't forget that even if we consider the reboot that happened, that will still be 5 years of development under Retro Studios' name by the time January happens, which again is only 1 month from now. That's a lot of time, no matter what's happening with that game, no matter how huge and epic in scope and complex it might be, and no matter what hardware it's going to be releasing on. They've put in a ton of time and blood, sweat, and tears into Metroid Prime 4 in its current state. That game, without question, is somewhere on the cusp of releasing. I know it. And so why wouldn't 2024 finally be the year for them to show it to us? Now, naturally, this brings us to the next-gen hardware conversation, because I don't think that we can talk about the idea of Metroid Prime 4 in the year of 2024 without also bringing in everyone's favorite gaming topic right now, the Nintendo Switch 2, or the next-gen console, whatever the thing is going to be. And I am a die-hard believer, and I've been saying it for a few years, that Metroid Prime 4 will be coming to the Switch 2 in some fashion. My general prediction is a cross-generation release, and that's something a lot of people believe in nowadays as well. I've been saying it and believing in it for a few years, and I still think that's most likely the plan. It's going to be a cross-generational release. Now, if one version releases before the other, the Switch or the Switch 2 or whatever, that might happen. They might not necessarily release on the same day, like Breath of the Wild did, but they might do some kind of a staggered release, which is more similar to what Zelda Twilight Princess did, where the next-gen Wii version actually released several months before the then last-gen GameCube version came out. But either way, my current prediction and feeling as of right now, the end of 2023, is that the Switch 2 is coming next year, and because I think an announcement or a release of the Switch 2 is coming next year, I think, still, that Metroid Prime 4's re-reveal is probably tied to the announcement of the Switch 2. And it's probably tied to the to Nintendo wanting everyone to have the knowledge of the Switch 2. So I don't think that they want to reveal Metroid Prime 4 before they've confirmed what the Switch 2 is going to be. I think Nintendo wants everyone to kind of connect the two together. Next-gen Nintendo console and Metroid Prime 4. They're part of the same bundle of news and press release and trailers and presentation and whatever they're going to do. It's just my prediction and theory. Doesn't mean that I'm right, but that's what I feel is probably the plan and makes the most sense. And so when I look ahead into 2024, yes, I see these two things happening around the same time. The reveal of the Switch 2 and the reveal and a trailer, a first look at Metroid Prime 4. Now, of course, we have to play devil's advocate a little bit, and we have to consider the crazy scenario where 2024 comes and goes and Nintendo still does not address Metroid Prime 4. They don't say the name of the game out loud. They don't give us a teaser. They don't release it. Nothing. If it's just as mysterious a year from now as it is right now, that technically, mathematically, is an option on the table, even though I do not expect it. And so, what would happen if 2024 ends and we still don't know anything more about Metroid Prime 4 than we do right now? Well, that would be sad. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, it would be the first time that I would maybe admit to you all that I do have a little bit of concern about the development behind the scenes on the game. And it's part of why I just don't think it's going to happen, because I'm very confident everything is going as planned with that game behind the scenes. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people are nervous about it and think it's canceled or it's a disaster. And anything is possible, but my gut feeling tells me that everything is just fine. And it's more a matter of their marketing and their scheduling and timing with the next-gen console leading to its mysteriousness. That's just my theory. But again, let's pretend that's all wrong and we don't see it next year. Then yeah, maybe I would start to buy in to some of the concerns and say, why would they go all of 2024 and not talk about Metroid Prime 4 or not show us a trailer or do anything, reveal it, show us Samus or release the game, whatever. Why would they do that? I would have to start wondering and believing that maybe something is going a little bit crazy behind the scenes. I will never believe the game is canceled. I think Nintendo knows they have to deliver this game, but maybe it's going to take longer than we expect if it's not ready by next year. Now, the only other thing worth discussing and considering when we talk about what may or may not happen with Prime 4 next year is also the long-awaited remasters or ports of Metroid Primes 2 and 3. Because, of course, Metroid Prime Remastered was a massive release and a massive moment for Nintendo and for Metroid that happened this year. And in the wake of the release of Metroid Prime Remastered and the insane quality of that game, it's crazy to think that Nintendo wouldn't also want to release Metroid Primes 2 and 3. Now, as we know, Metroid Prime Remastered in a lot of ways goes back to some rumors and some quote-unquote leaks by people like Jeff Grubb, who discussed the fact that this was happening. Metroid Prime was getting a full-on remake treatment kind of situation, but that also Primes 2 and 3 were getting HD ports to follow after that, right? So one of those three things have happened. We got Metroid Prime Remastered. So whether or not those leaks are true, there is still the conversation out there about if Nintendo plans to bring Primes 2 and 3 to the Switch, and if they did, how would they do that? Are they also getting the full remaster treatment like the first game? Are they just getting HD ports? Are they getting more than an HD port but still not quite the quality of the remaster? Would they release packaged together? Would they release individually? Would they release only on the eShop? Would they also release physically? I mean, there's a lot of questions around how they would do it if it's even a plan. And honestly, guys, even with all the things I've heard, it's hard for me to say for sure that Nintendo is planning on doing it. Even though I think it's possible, and obviously I want it, I think that just kind of, muddles up the water when we consider Metroid Prime 4. But it is worth noting, in a world where Metroid Primes 2 and 3 do release on the Switch next year, if anything, it provides quite a bit of a buffer for us to continue to wait a little bit longer for Metroid Prime 4. So hopefully, if Prime 4 doesn't come to us next year, at least bare minimum Nintendo would be ready to give us Primes 2 and 3. I think that would go a long way to satisfying us, the fans. Ultimately, at the end of the day, with all the rumors and stuff that are out there and all the things that people claim are leaks and all the different stuff, I hear it all, I know it all, I see the public stuff, I hear some private behind the scenes things. The real purpose of this video is honestly to bring a little bit of optimism into all of our hearts, as corny as that sounds. Here at the end of the year, looking ahead to 2024, all of us just tragically, emotionally devastated that we're still waiting for anything legitimate about Metroid Prime 4. I just want to let you guys know that I myself, as the self-proclaimed world's biggest Metroid fan, and if you watch my channel, you know the truth of that I actually have a lot of hope in my heart for Metroid Prime 4 in 2023, and for the franchise. Because, yeah, I don't believe as much in Primes 2 and 3 as I do in Prime 4 next year, but the simple fact that Primes 2 and 3 are kind of an option that could happen is very exciting. But more than that, I do think it's time for Prime 4 to shine next year. And the cherry on top of that is the fact that I also personally think the Switch 2 information comes alongside of that. I mean, can you guys imagine a day sometime next year, even if it's like the middle of the year, like June or July, and Nintendo says, boom, here's the Switch 2 reveal, and boom, here's Metroid Prime 4 coming to the Switch 2 day one, and here is your first ever look at the game and the gameplay. That's going to be the greatest day almost ever in like gaming history, at least for a lot of us who are Nintendo fans, and especially for those of us that are diehard Metroid fans. And while I could be wrong, and I'm not claiming to leak anything or trying to start rumors, I do believe in my bones we are getting Metroid Prime 4 info and gameplay in 2024. I believe it's going to happen, and so that's what I think. Share your thoughts on my predictions and your own thoughts below. Again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Help me cross 25,000 subscribers soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time on another video.